All right. Hi, wherever you are. I've been requested to present this. Social studies. This is a compilation of the main areas that have been tested in Kcpe over the years. Relax, sit somewhere, be ready, and let us move together. Social studies. I have a number of questions that is about 500 questions that we are going to revise, to visit them in 6 phases or 8 phases or sessions. So the first session has 60 questions. Let's go together. Question number 1. The main reason for the establishment of the Aswan High Dam on the River Nile in Egypt was the main reason for the establishment of the Aswan High Dam. Aswan High Dam was to provide water for irrigation. Number 2, the main problem facing multipurpose river projects in Africa. The main problem facing multipurpose river projects in Africa is siltation of the dams. Number 3, Commonwealth. Commonwealth Games are held after every 4 years. Commonwealth Games are held after every 4 years. The Commonwealth is an international cooperation body that consists of former British colonies. Commonwealth is an international cooperation body that consists of former British colonies. Non-former countries and non-former colonies may apply for and get membership. Example, Mozambique. Number 5, the headquarters of UN are in USA, New York, USA. Number 6, the main reason for the scramble and partition of Africa was the main reason for scramble and partition for Africa was to look for raw materials for their industry. The Europeans wanted to look for raw materials for their industries. Remember, you have other reasons. Raw materials, establishment of market. They also wanted to invest their surplus capital. They also did it for prestige or to show power. They also did it for strategic reasons to protect the source of River Nile and end slave trade, spread Christianity, and also settle their surplus population. The largest swamp, this is number 7 in Africa. The largest swamp in Africa is Okavango Swamp in Botswana. Okavango Swamp in Botswana. The deepest lake in Africa is Tanganyika, and the largest lake in Kenya is Lake Turkana. Number 9. Tupoke samaki tena ogi. Tupoke samaki tena ogi is the formula for tupoke samaki tena ogi. This is Tugen, Pokot, Keio, Sabaot, Marakwet, Kipsigis, Terik, Nandi, and Ogiek. These are highland nilotes. So the answer is highland nilotes. The G people are some of the plain nilotes of Uganda. The G people are plain nilotes of Uganda together with Karamojong. Highland nilotes are also called the Kalenjins. Highland nilotes are also called the Kalenjins. Vikyobachi Chimwenga is the formula for Vikyoba Chichimwenga is the formula for downwarping lakes. Formula for downwarping lakes. If you want to know the downwarping lakes, you just say Vikyoba Chichimwenga. This is the mnemonic. Vikyoba Chichimwenga. That is Victoria, Kyoga, Bangweulu, Chad, Chilwa, Mweru, Ngami. Lake Victoria, Lake Kyoga, Lake Bangweulu, Lake Chad, Lake Chilwa, Lake Mweru, and Lake Ngami are examples of downwarping lakes. Ngami is also a downwarping lakes. Next number 10, number 11. Amabuga. Amabuga. Amabuga is the formula for countries crossed by the prime meridian from the top in Africa. It is Algeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Ghana. Remember, in Ghana, it passes through Accra, 0 degrees. Prime meridian is also called the Greenwich meridian, which passes through Greenwich City in London. Number 12. County Executive Committee meetings. County Executive Committee meetings are chaired by the governor, by the county governor. Ghana, Uganda, Tanzania, Senegal got their independence through peaceful, constitutional, and diplomatic ways. Peaceful, constitutional, and diplomatic ways. Don't forget. Kezisomo. Kezisomo. This is Kenya, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Mozambique acquired their independence through armed struggle. Armed struggle, they had to fight. Ethiopia was never colonized. Ethiopia was never colonized because it had a powerful army under empire. Menelik II, who successfully resisted Italian invasion. Remember, the Italians intended to colonize, to control Ethiopia, but they were defeated because of this leader who was called Menelik II. Number 16, Malindi is hotter than Nairobi. Malindi is hotter than Nairobi. This is just an example. We can also have Mombasa, hotter than Laikipia. Mombasa, hotter than Limuru. Always, a lowland is always hotter than an island. Why? Because of altitude. Malindi is hotter than Nairobi because Malindi is at a lower altitude than Nairobi. Remember, the height above sea level is called altitude. That's why we do not have rivers coming from being outlets of oceans or seas. No. Have you ever had a river coming from Indian Ocean? No. Why? Because rivers flow from a higher altitude to a lower altitude. Don't ask why. Like why River Nile flows upward towards the north. It's because of gravity. It follows the way to the sea. The flow of the river is always moving to the lower altitude. Number 17. Somalia was colonized by FBI. FBI is France, British, and Italy. Italy colonized 3 countries. Libya, we say Lisoe. Libya, Somalia, and Eritrea. Number 18. The last country to gain independence in Africa was South Sudan. The last country to gain independence in Africa was South Sudan. In 23rd July 2011 is the newest country. Number 19, the Afrikaners of South Africa got independence in 1934. The Afrikaners of South Africa got independence in 1934. Remember, Egypt was the first country in Africa The first country, not African country, the first country in Africa to gain independence was Egypt. And the first country in Africa to gain independence was Ghana in 1957. The first African country in Kenya to gain, the first African country in Africa to gain independence was Ghana in 1957, led by Kwame Nkrumah through Kcpe. Number 20. The Africans of South Africa got independence in 1994 by Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. Apartheid rule, number 21, apartheid rule, that is racial discrimination in South Africa, was brought to an end by Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, when he appointed people from all races to his government. Spell the word government correctly. Number 22. The first democratically elected president of South Africa was Nelson Mandela. In 1994 to 1999 for 5 years through ANC. Used the party ANC. Number 23. Ethiopia is headed by a prime minister. Ethiopia is headed by a prime minister. The head of state in Swaziland is also called Eswatini. The head of state in Swaziland is the king. Let's go to number 25. The head of government in Swaziland is the prime minister, who is appointed by the king. Prime minister appointed by the king. The head of government is the prime minister. The traditional government in Swaziland is called Tinikundula. The traditional government in Swaziland is called Tinikundula. Two countries in Africa that are headed by a king are Morocco and Swaziland. Swaziland is headed by a king, and also Morocco. But the head of government in Swaziland is not the king, it is the prime minister who is appointed by the king. Number 28, the traditional system of governance in Swaziland was called the traditional system of governance in Swaziland was called Libandela. The National Council of Elders or Ministers or Elders in Swaziland Kingdom was Likoko. Then we move to number 30. The king's title was called Ngwenyama, which means the lion, Simba, the lion. Then we have number 31. The queen mother was called Indilovukazi. When you remove the first letter I and L, it becomes Ndovukazi. This was Indilovukazi means she elephant. Number 32. The main factor to consider when setting up a ranch, it is space and pasture. Space is the main factor to consider when setting up a ranch. Number 33, the main problem affecting wildlife is poaching. Poaching is the illegal killing of animals. It is the main problem that is affecting wildlife. Poaching of wildlife. Number 34, the main problem affecting tourism. Is insecurity and terrorism. Mandamano. Number 35. The main reason for the establishment of Geographical industries in Kenya. The main reason for the establishment of Geographical industries is to create jobs or create employment. Number 36. The main problem facing Geographical industries is the lack of capital and competition from high quality industries. Number 37. The main method of curbing drug and substance abuse in Kenya is by educating people on effects or dangers of drug abuse. Number 38, the main causes of conflicts in our school are school performances and cases of indiscipline. Next, the longest road, number 39, the longest road in Africa is the Great North Road that starts from Cape Town, South Africa to Cairo. It is also the longest road, the longest road. We have other roads like the highway that connects Mombasa to Lagos, which is called Trans-African Highway. It is also called Lagos-Mombasa Highway or Mombasa-Lagos Highway. The first Prime Minister of Kenya was Jomo Kenyatta. Prime Ministers of Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. Jomo Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. Number 42. The first Vice President of Kenya was Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. The first Vice President of Kenya was Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Vice Presidents of Kenya in their order. Next. This is the Vice President of Kenya. Omumo Kikasa Mundawori Kalonzo. Omumo Kikasa Mundawori Kalonzo. On the right, let me read it from the right. The mnemonic here is on the right. On the right, we have one Monday morning, Kibaki kicked Saitoti, making Wamalwa amazed kabisa. One Monday morning, Kibaki kicked Saitoti, making Wamalwa amazed kabisa. Jaramogi was the first one, Joseph Murumbi, Daniel Moi, Mwai Kibaki, Josephat Karanja, George Saitoti, Musalia Mudavadi, Kijana Wamalwa, Mudawari, and Stephen Kalonzo. Stephen Kalonzo was the last Vice President of Kenya. 43. Maize growing in Kenya and Tanzania is important because it is the staple food in both countries. It is the staple food for both countries. The staple food in Uganda is bananas. The staple food in Uganda is bananas. Homo erectus. Erect means upright. So this is the person, is the Homo erectus invented fire. Yeah, this is the hominid that invented fire. Number 46. The best way to ensure rules are followed in school by learners is by involving learners in making school rules. When you involve them, you eliminate cases of indiscipline in schools, or you make the learners follow the rules because they were involved in the setting. Number 47, the 4 symbols of national unity: national flag, national anthem, coat of public seal are the symbols. National flag, national anthem, a coat of arms, and public seal. Remember, we have coat of arms inside the public seal. Number 48. Who among the following early visitors in Eastern Africa was a trader? We have John Speck. We have Ludwig Krapf, John Speck was an explorer. Ludwig Krapf was a missionary. And HMN, Henry Morton Stanley, was an explorer. So the correct answer here is William Morton. Number 49. The fishing method shown below is, let us study them. This is pass saying. Pass saying is for shallow water, as you can see, not at the bottom. We have trawling method. It is used, as you can see, in deep sea. This is a deep sea method. Deep sea method, as you can see, the trawls. Look at this structure net at the bottom. So it is a deep sea fishing method. Then we have another one here, which is gill net. Gill net, this one, as you can see, used in shallow waters and even lakes, shallow waters. Then we have long lining method. Look at the bottom, the bottom. This is the method which is used in catching big fish, and it's also a deep sea fishing method, whereby the seabed is not uniform, it is rough, where the seabed is rough. The seabed is rough. So the correct answer here is this. We have said long lining is for deep sea, where the sea is rough. Then trawling is a method used in deep sea. It's a deep sea fishing method. Then we have net drifting as our correct answer. Number 54. Cement factories are located at the river and Bamburi because of nearness to the raw materials. Remember, cement is made from main raw material is limestone. So limestone, Bamburi, and also at the river and Koru. 55. Liberia was never colonized. Liberia was never colonized because it was set as a home for freed slaves. Home for freed slaves. Number 56, the vegetation of savanna is usually scattered trees. Remember, we have two types of savanna. That is savanna woodland and savanna grassland. So the vegetation of savanna is scattered trees. The vegetation of equatorial tropical rainforest, it is long trees which are hardwood, and they grow close to each other. Number 57. Many people move to urban areas. This is called rural to urban areas. Rural to urban migration. So many people move to urban areas mainly to look for jobs, in search of jobs or employment, to work in the industries or any jobs. That's why they provide cheap labor. Number 58, televisions are not mostly used. Televisions are not mostly used in the rural areas. As a means of communication, you'll find that they have radios which use just dry cells, unlike televisions. So it's because of most areas lack electricity. So it's because of lack of electricity or electric power. Number 59, Liberia was never colonized, as it was set as a home for freed slaves. This I repeat, no problem. Number 60, Ukamagabisha. Ukamagabisha is Utange, Kanyamboli, Manzala in Egypt, Gambi, and Lake Bilisa, and the last one, Lake Shakababu. These are examples of oxbow lakes. Remember, oxbow lakes are formed through deposition. Sorry. Thank you very much for being with me in part one. End of part one. Subscribe to catch part two. Subscribe to catch our part two. Subscribe to catch our part two.